Hi, welcome back to the Fire Up Connect Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo. And to close up this episode and wrap up everything, I would like to just point out some key points of each of the conversations that I have with the three board members of the Strategic Advisory Board. And first, we'll start with Joe Trujillo, which he focuses a lot on project management. And I like how he uh, talk about like how to build a strong foundation so then you can set your team for success. And then second, we have Chris Oburn, which is he's the director of acquisition and publishing. And then we're talking about how important is to have a book and not just because, oh, I want to put a book out and that's it. It's more like what's your intention, what's your target audience, like what's your ideal client avatar, and how that mixes with PR and how like they're connected they are. And third, we have Will Black, which is the director of payments and finance. And we have a long conversation about like how the share like how payment processors are so important. And we see the most common ones, Square, Stripe, and PayPal. They're the most common ones, and really they're taking a lot of money, and people, well, like they're easy to set up, so you can start a business and start getting payments quick, and that's cool to start out. But like me right now, you should definitely shift away from it and get into a place like sharing the credit, where they teach you how to better like get better rates so you save money, and also how to take some of those small fees and then give them to a charity instead of going back to the bank or the payment processor. So this was a great episode. I love the conversation and how everything was so valuable, and the actionable steps that I ask every single one of them, so you guys can have some valuable information and some action to take, right? Some kind of homework. So you take something of value. That's my intention with this. And another thing that I want to talk about that we discussed in between these conversations is how, because Facebook, Google, and like literally every tech giant is right now gating their doors, their data. They don't want to share it with nobody else, and also people are caring more and more about privacy. And because now, like you've seen like the memes probably, and like people talking about how like, damn, like this ads are so personalized to me that I think my phone is listening to me, because there's no way that they know. And it's because that this data, like the privacy issues that was happening, that's the real problem. And that's something that I didn't know either. And I, like, by educating myself about it, I found out like how important and how big of a deal that was. Like, imagine, like, yeah, it's cool to like, yeah, I need this, and then kind of have it in front of you, you can buy it. But the problem is like it was just getting kind of scary, like, oh my god, they're like knowing exactly what I'm thinking almost, right? And that's where it was getting a little dangerous, because like they know too much, like, and they're taking this data and they're reselling it to other people, and we don't even know about it, because it was kind of hitting in between all those terms and conditions that we we agree and we never read, right? Like, I'm guilty as charged. And that's why um I like how everything is shifting to really help the consumer, or help the user of these platforms, because like we didn't like the technology boom has been something relatively new, right? Like me, I was born in 93, and I can say that I was part of this generation that saw the whole change. How, like, when I was a little kid, I remember like there was no computers, and suddenly Windows 98, like my dad had one of them, and I thought that was the greatest thing. And then from there, how things started evolving. And I remember having a Razer and then having an iPad, and it was like, or not an iPad, an iPod first, right? And thinking like, damn, like imagine if this was like the same thing. And then when the iPhone came out, right? How revolutionary all this like big tech revolutionary moments that has happened just in my lifetime. And that's why we're getting to a point that we are starting to learn more about how this social media affects the brain of humans, how the data collection is affecting humanity, and how to best leverage this technology, right? And because it's great to have like so much information at the palm of our hands, but we can get caught up in a lot of dark and not positive things, and that's why it's so important to get educated, to push more for privacy, and with that thought of privacy, that's why PR and or PA, right, public awareness, how we're calling it now, it's so important, because being in publications that people know and trust, and podcasts and TV, like that way, that's a way into everywhere, right? There's Google News, there's Apple News, there's Facebook News. So news is something that they will always be covered, right? And we as humans, like I said before, we are storytellers. That's how we're wired. We want stories, we want emotion, we want not just like data in my face and try to memorize it. That's the problem that I have with school, and a lot of people has, is how do we make it fun? How can we make the most out of having so much information available for us? And that's what I like about creating a PR campaign, or a public awareness campaign, because in there you can really, like, when just preparing to it, you're really forced to have your client avatar, and work on exactly what kind of message you're trying to share, and do it in a like substance, and in like a very pleasing matter, so people feel engaged, people feel related to it, and they can be like, okay, I want to click to this link after reading this story, instead of an ad that is like, oh, like in my face, interrupting my video, already in a bad mood, and like, oh, sign here right now in the next 10 seconds, or this offer is gone forever, right? Like those kind of like very pushy tactics are, people are really not liking them and anymore, like it used to work like just a year, 2 years back. And now with COVID, everything going online and people feeling overwhelmed with like so many things, now we're really caring about what comes to our inbox, what is in our social media. People are way more conscious about the things that we put in front of our faces than we consume. And that's what I want to let you guys with today. And thanks for listening to the show. And I hope that you liked it and you get some value. And I look forward to providing even more value and having a better conversation, better episode next time. So thank you for being here, and you can listen to me later next month. So goodbye.